You already know what time it is. It's your boy Matt Mizzo, host with the most on Need to Brag No Boss. All I do is give a toast. This for Vlad, Vlad the Informer. This is one of them shows, we expose what's really going on this rap shit. Informer. I keep on now. Vlad the Informer. Well, I keep on now. Yeah, man. So y'all see what Vlad is doing out there, Fucking with the whole game. Got most of our rappers out here fucked up in the game, lost in the sauce. You know what I'm saying? Shit gotta change, man. I keep on now. You know what I'm saying? A real infam of that. It's all good. We'll get them. So it comes to my knowledge that Vlad, part of Vlad's interview, was the reason why enough of these rappers are going down. You know what I'm saying? So I want to know why these rappers steady going on Vlad. You know what I'm saying? You got your boy Casanova. He got caught up in the Rico case. He got indicted on some federal charges, And now he got to go he got to go in front of the judge and claim his innocence. Before all that, he was on Vlad talking wild shit about the streets and all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, who do we really listen to? You know what I'm saying? Who do we really turn to in these situations? Because I feel like it's Vlad's fault that he got all his people caught up like this. Well, all my people, not his people. You know what I'm saying? So that just goes to show, anything can happen at any time. But moreover, do you know Vlad is one of the only publications that gives up their whole tape. Well, he pretty much gives out his whole tape, right? The uncut raw version to the police before he edits it and puts it back out to the public. Where did he do that at? You know what I'm saying? Where did they do that at? So that goes to show you right there, There's something fishy going down. And on top of that, you got all types of fucking oh, you got all types of people on his show that are getting indicted, robbed. He likes to put black men against each other, on a type of on some type of sneak divide and conquer tactic. So when he appeared on You're Not a Mean show, I was like, wow, he looked hella suspect sitting there, and he was just there chopping it up with Lord Jamar. I guess Lord Jamar used his platform to make his platform big, but still, it's like Vlad called out. But it's crazy, because the FBI really admitted to using Vlad interviews, and it's this particular one that they used against him. So that goes to show y'all, they ain't playing on here.
Welcome back to the channel once again, fam. Fans are believing that this video is being used against Casanova as the rapper is currently facing racketeering charges. So, you go to prison, but you don't calm down.
Yeah.
How many people did you cut?
The big wipes at? That's where you have big wipes.
Three to four. That I got tickets on, like paperwork on, but really it's more. Yeah, it's just random. I wouldn't be able to give you a number because it was just so much. It would be like yard fights and stuff, and you just swinging and you just doing stuff like that. So probably if you really want to tally it up, probably like 12 the most. I say 12. So you were giving people about 50s. Yeah. Rapper Casanova, who the Federal Bureau of Investigation is looking for, has been indicted on a number of criminal charges, including conspiracy to commit racketeering, conspiracy to distribute controlled substances, and possession of a firearm in a drug trafficking crime. Casanova was identified by the FBI as one of the members of the untouchable Guerrilla Stone Nation street gang, as they announced the charges against the rapper on Tuesday, December 1st. The rapper left fans with a video maintaining his innocence. As you already know, I'm fighting serious charges right now. But I'm innocent. That's one. Two, I've been fighting my whole life, so I'll get through this. Just understand how they can get you jammed up. You don't know nobody, you ain't got nothing to do with nothing, they still get you jammed up. Rappers, we are a target. Just be careful out there. Watch who you associate with. Watch who people bring you around. I'll see y'all soon, God willing. Well, as is always, guys, we appreciate you for tuning in. And if you're new and enjoying the content, make sure to show us some love by smashing that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and ringing that bell icon for the latest notifications on this story and the next.
They're just supposed to show you right there, right? He said too much. He's talking too much. Well, I'm going over to hip hop.
People want to know what happened to Casanova. Now, the first culprit is Takashi 69, aka Ratatouille, who we know during his trial pretty much identified Casanova 2 times as being a part of a rival gang. Now, the feds also have said themselves, when you look over what they wrote, that they have been watching him since 2010. But what stands out, I think, more than ever is an excerpt right here that I want to read when they put, using his public platform, he has amplified the message of the gang, both through his music and his social media profiles. And this comes from the United States District Attorney. They said he allegedly posted a photo of a pair of diamond encrusted gorilla pendants, one on horseback, to his Instagram account in July, implying that they watched his Instagram, obviously. In another post, he stands beside an oversized mural of a gorilla. Now, they say, in addition, here's the bombshell, right?
I don't know how this guy have a...
To the Samayan bling, he appeared on a gang anthem over the summer called Big Ape, which has garnered over 1.8 million views on YouTube. And they say
I don't get that photo
gang members in that video. Now, they go on to say, right?
That's how you know, here's man. There's something fishy about these rappers.
Here, and here's what I know happened.
I
didn't
know the feds is coming to get them.
2 times interviews, right? They go on to say Casanova 34 has twice been convicted of first-degree robbery and has
and if he knew, he should have just got out of Dodge.
To stabbing other inmates while locked up. And this is according to court papers. So his interviews, along with his social media, done him up. Now, Takashi, they may have pointed him, but they were already looking at him before Takashi. They have been watching, and they pretty much equating the gorilla symbolism to running with the Gorilla Stone Nation. Now, let's go a little bit further, because when you look at the comment section of some of the interviews that Casanova, and particularly the one that he did on Vlad TV, here are some of the titles right here, right? Casanova 2 times on becoming the biggest gangster in Flatbush, Brooklyn. Casanova 2 times on stabbing 12 inmates, beating cellmates, doing 7.5 years, right? Casanova on his past beef was Takashi 69. Another one is Casanova 2 times on robbing 11 people. And when you look at some of the comments, right? And this is what the part that I don't understand, why people give up information like this or talk about anything like this on these platforms. One of the people put, LOL, going to be crazy on his trail, right? Now, let's break this down, right? You got the feds coming out pretty much saying they've been watching social media, they've been listening to interviews, they've been taking information of Takashi 69, all to put together a case. Also, obviously, probably sending informants and going in and just doing what the feds do. But my thing is to the people, and you have to kind of put some of this on the shoulders of Casanova and other people that go on these platforms and willingly give up information willingly, pretty much, I mean, telling themselves at the end of the day, how foolish can you be? And I'm not saying that he's involved in anything. I don't know. I wasn't there, but how foolish could someone be to be involved in this type of activity and actually, talk about what they did?
Because he was getting extorted, man. He was no real writer. That's what the folks are saying.
Things, and one thing they don't want to do is they don't really want to be on the camera like that, and they damn sure don't want to talk about none of the crimes that they committed. They almost looking at you like you're the FBI or something. If you even would ask that, so it baffles me that people will go on interviews and get so comfortable that they will willingly give up all information, calling themselves the biggest gangster, talking about how many kilos they sold or how many people they stabbed. This is all crazy. This is all ludicrous. Like, if you're not going to tell in the precinct, why the hell would you tell in an interview? They get too comfortable, and I think they cut up their nose to spite their face at this point. And a lot of people want to point at Vlad and say, Vlad this, and Vlad that.
So let's take a look at the interview.
I understand, like, me as an interviewer and a journalist, I would never delve into this type of questions, but we come from different places. You know what I mean? I don't come from where Vlad comes from. He's an outsider looking in, so he is going to be asking what the outsiders want to know. And I just know. I mean, I know code, so on code is like, I ain't asking this dude about nothing like that. Because one, I think it's inappropriate, and two, I got more integrity than that to even want to know that, or to even know. I understand who's watching these platforms. I understand that they're trying to compile information.
Well, you see, he got a lot of clout off of that. So he probably already knew he was going to get indicted. So he's like, let me just go ahead and be the super gangster.
Had a hand in it.
Everybody thinks I am. Shout out to Hiphop.
What's going on, YouTube?
Classic Daily.
Come back at you with another video. So, as I was going through this paperwork in regards to Casanova, I noticed something that after I finished the video, I went back to verify. It definitely looks like, although they don't say Vlad's name, that a Vlad TV interview is being used as evidence against Casanova. So I'm going to go through this for you in case you missed it. I'm going to show you what the feds are claiming about Casanova, and we will get to the part where it talks about seemingly a DJ Vlad interview.
Caswell is a better name than
Casanova. This is some of the evidence that the feds are claiming in regards to Casanova. I'm going to read it for you just in case you missed the indictment paperwork video I did. It's Caswell Sr., a.k.a. Casanova. It says Sr. is a rapper of some notoriety. Using his public platform, he has amplified the message of the gang both through his music and his social media profiles. For example, he appeared on a gang anthem this summer, Big Ape, which has garnered over 1.8 million views on YouTube since June 3rd.
Exactly.
In addition, he has used his Instagram page to pay homage to the gang, posting the below photos demonstrating his allegiance to Gorilla Stone. So, I'm not going to say Casanova did anything wrong in this situation, but what I'm going to tell you is, if you are gang affiliated, do not put anything online
now, why would you do
that could prove
as a
that
grown
you are gang affiliated. Taking pictures, throwing up signs, things like that. It's going to do nothing for you.
Because you wanted the clout, because you knew you was going
problems, and that's the reality of the situation.
You tried to get the most clout you can
about what you put on
before they handed that gavel down.
So, it says,
you should
has closely coordinated his artistic endeavors to benefit the gang. For example, over recorded prison calls, the government has learned that that defendant Reed shares in some of Senior's earnings. Senior has also relied on Gorilla Stone members for protection. In wire intercepts, defendant Luster is recorded admitting that Senior has called upon him to provide protection and firearms, hammers, while Senior was traveling across the country. Senior's pending robbery charge, the underlying conduct for which was captured on high-quality surveillance video in New York County Supreme Court, provides a concrete example of how he has relied on the gang for acts of violence. In clear surveillance video taken from a diner in Manhattan in August 2018, Senior is seen lunging across a table for a victim's cell phone. A scuffle ensues, and eventually a fellow Gorilla Stone member, Bobby Williams, places the victim in a chokehold until the victim lost consciousness and she is dropped to the floor. Senior has also personally committed acts of violence in addition to his current open robbery charge. Senior has twice been convicted of robbery in the first degree. In public interviews, let me read it again. In public interviews, he has admitted to stabbing inmates while incarcerated on those charges.
It's a sworn
and the government has recovered photos
Anybody
from his iCloud account of several firearms demonstrating his continued access to weapons. So let me go back to this again. It says, Senior has also personally committed acts of violence. In addition to his current open robbery charge, Senior has twice been convicted of robbery in the first degree. In public interviews, he has admitted to stabbing inmates while incarcerated on those charges. Now, let's look at this Vlad TV interview that did 3.1 million views in 3 years.
Yeah, so look at the title.
Casanova 2 times
on stabbing 12 inmates, beating cellmates, doing 7.5 years.
Now again, they do not mention Vlad TV's name. They say
that's what Vlad
interview or interviews
had up on the motherfucking
has spoke about stabbing inmates. Clearly, to me, it would seem the feds are referring to and referencing this video, although again, they are not flat out saying it. So that's just my interpretation. But a lot of people out there.
Well, he thought he had a statute of limitations.
People get locked up off of Vlad TV interviews. I never saw any instances of it before. And I'm not saying Vlad TV is the reason why Casanova is locked up.
I am.
But clearly,
Vlad gives his uncut version of every video he does
if they didn't have any plans on using it against him, they wouldn't even be bringing it up. So you got to be extremely mindful of what you're putting on social media, of what you're doing publicly and what you're saying publicly, because it can and will be used against you in a court of law. Going up to Vlad TV or anywhere else and laying out your life story and telling about all the violent acts you committed, telling about all the illegal things that you've done, telling about all the crimes that you committed, the only thing that's going to do is alert the police to what you got going on and put a target.
That's why I say he was getting extorted.
This case with Casanova, to me, honestly, is sad. There's not much evidence
pushing that image because he knew
that proving it, or
that's drop the gavel.
Pointing to the fact that Casanova did
they're telling him to go ahead and go
beat evidence in this case. This seems like an extremely weak case that the feds, got locked on Casanova. There wasn't really that much, so they tried to find a way to make it stick. Unfortunately for him, this is a RICO indictment. It's extremely hard to beat. But what the feds presented in regards to Casanova, to me, is a flimsy, weak case. There's not much there, proving, other than this stuff on social media and these people's own words, that Casanova, did any of these things that they're alleging. So it's a crazy situation. Stop convicting people before they even get a chance to go to court.
It looks like
so many people out there, I see my comments,
interrogation
other places as well, saying Casanova's guilty. Casanova,
he's acting like he wants to know the story, but he really wants to know the indictment.
Everything that's been provided as far as what the government is going to use as evidence is all just allegations. You have to remember that. They can say anything. They can allege anything. It doesn't mean it's true. So before you decide that Casanova is guilty, let all the facts come out. Let him go, get his day in court, and
put
that'll
the
be
link
what
in the comment section.
Let me know what you guys think in the comments, though. Hit the like, subscribe, share, leave some feedback. Make sure you ring the notification bell, too, if you're subscribed, so you get updates on all my future videos when they drop. Before you leave, please take just 1 second to click the link I'm going to pin as a top comment. It's going to take you to a dope artist out there trying to get his YouTube channel monetized. He's almost there. Please click the link and subscribe. It costs you absolutely nothing. I definitely appreciate you watching, though. Peace.
Crazy, right? That goes to show y'all, man. Vlad the Informant is a motherfucking rat. And that's that. You know? Okay, let's not say he's a rat, but he's more like a mouse, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you just leave it in the house, it's gonna bring in more. You might even poison the house.
A boogie arrested on gun charges after New Jersey nightclub shootouts. They came to A Boogie's house. They had a search warrant. They go in the crib. They find some guns. They find some hollow point bullets, and they find some, some weed and et cetera, et cetera. I think and the high capacity magazine. I think that's the real problem.
Not what you want right there.
The high capacity magazines and the hollow tips. Problem.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't know why no one says like, hey, maybe we don't need that. That's not a good thing.
Yeah, you got to be smarter. You got to move smarter. And Rosenberg, you had some Casanova update news.
Yeah, somebody gonna eat that trash.
This came from.
They're
That's what the
saying
goons are
that
for.
Casanova's arrest may have been caused by things that were said during an interview with DJ Vlad on Vlad TV. That he may have put himself in jeopardy from telling some stories and little things that were said during those conversations. So,
well, here's the deal. If you're going on shows...
That's exactly what happened, because that nigga was running his mouth a little bit too much, you know what I'm saying? The gang was exposing him. Like I said, I mean, I knew he was a part of the gang, but he was talking a little greasy about the gang too. Talking about he wanted to get away from the gang. But then you and your raps talking about the gang.
Can someone tell me, anyone have any idea what the
we outside and all that. And all this crazy shit. That's why when Pop Smoke said, niggas say they outside.
I thought he was just doing it for promo.
That's my assumption.
And the Eddie, we gonna slide.
I'm making that up.
Because
the idea that you think you need DJ Vlad
up in that shit, but they don't want.
Is such a congratulations that I can't even.
No, that's not fair.
She likes
some people need the likes, they need the Instagram number. They leverage that for more money. That's not. You can't say that.
I understand, but
that's not our world. It's not our hustle. But there are people who need the promo, fam. They need their name ringing off. That's how they get club bookings. That's how they get sponsors for their Instagram page.
But here's the question.
That's how they get streamed.
And I'm not referring to Cas here because we don't know the situation with Casanova. However, if you need to be hot and you need to be talked about and you need the streams, and as a result, you go up to DJ Vlad and over talk about the streets and your life to try to get likes, and that comes back to get you. If that's the case with someone, can we even feel bad? That's such a short-sighted move. It's so silly. Like, what part of the game is that? I'm an idiot. I don't know anything, and I know what part of the game is that.
The problem is that it's not part of the game. That is the game. That's the game. You're not hot out here. Now people not watching. People don't want to engage with what's going on your page or your Twitter.
That's crazy.
People don't watch you. So they don't care. People don't matter. And unfortunately, that's the game. So everybody's just pandering to that. Well, 95%. I don't want to say everybody. 95% of these artists are pandering.
But let's keep it a buck, though. Since we don't pander to that on this program, there's people who don't come by this program.
Yes, you do, E-Bro.
There's certain things that we don't do, and certain artists be like, yo,
E-Bro,
and we like, yo, our ratings are great. We play the
you
radio
ain't never
game.
took no payola.
We're in the radio game. We're not in the YouTube game. I'm not in the IG game. But that's just not my game. And there's artists that,
Well, I think about how messed up it is. And then not only that, we have a game where the scorekeeping for our game is private. So you can't even get clout off of it because the ratings aren't even a thing people talk about. So they would never even get it. It's a totally different world. But my point is this: if the only thing you could do to stay hot is to gossip and blab, you might want to try to go to Target and get a job, my G.
Damn.
If you were once a rapper, but now all you could do is blab, if you can't get a radio show or a podcast where you're talking about issues, I'm not talking about Joe Budden. I'm not talking. Joe's a great talent who talks about things. Okay. But if you're gonna go sit with a Vlad and blab about the streets to stay high,
cat talking
and again,
about?
I'm not referring to Cass. I do not. This just spawned the conversation. I don't
Rosenberg
know if
always trying to say some super fly
doing, and that's
cool
the only
shit.
way
Shut the
you can stay
fuck up,
hot.
Rosenberg.
Maybe the rap game isn't for you.
Well, people want to be on, bro. I don't know
You a
if
fucking
I
fan.
don't agree with
You
you.
gossiping about the streets?
That's what some people do it in the barbershop all day. People do it on social media all day. They do it all day. People talk all day. We talk all day. We're talking
Yeah,
about
but that's
streets right
Casanova's fault. But at the end of the day, Vlad should have known not to ask him these questions, certain questions, you know?
You have people's attention.
Because if you're a smart
It's
man,
the game right now.
you know some of these rappers ain't motherfucking Reddit.
I mean, it's talking about the rap game.
You gonna fuck around and let them incriminate themselves on your show, not worried about the repercussions.
They're helping, but
They
they're still
come
talking
back to
about the
you.
street game and the rap
If you really
game.
think you're dealing with
And
some high caliber
Play
G's right now,
And then they wind up
and then it turns around that they get indicted, you won't feel a certain way. You're just gonna be like, oh, they say whatever they say. If they come after me, I won't call the police. If you didn't want real motherfucking answers, they will come for you, man. Because you're part of the bullshit.
That's counterproductive.
But I wanted to call this rappers are in danger. Now we seeing rappers getting murdered every day. We seeing rappers going to jail for big shit. This ain't little shit. How you manage to stay out the way, like to get caught up with these things, man?
You know, it's so easy to always,
Well, Mano did like 10 years already.
Because it's what you know for so long. And then you never really cut all your ties off. You understand? It is a thin line. Shout out to Mano.
No, they're dropping gems. And let me just add one last thing that's a little bit more positive, because I know I went a little negative by saying, like, if you all you can do is gossip, you need to get out of rap. The one thing, Ebro, and I know you'll agree with this, the particularly disappointing part about people making their bread off of gossiping is we finally live in a time where you can survive in music, streaming, without being a star. Like, you don't need to make it to the highest level. You can put out music and
First of all, we gossip on this program. So
not about the streets, Ebro. We're not revealing crimes.
No, we don't do that. But I'm just saying we gossip. So I wanted to be clear on what it is you're talking about.
Yeah. Y'all be gossiping the most, or some bitches.
It's not what I'm doing. Right?
That can incriminate other people.
Not participate. No. But you have to remember that being hot and being on and being talked about is how people have been programmed to feel that that's tied to success.
Anyway.
Right? It's not enough for some to just be able to take care of their bills and take care of their family.
You know, you hear that? It's not enough for some to just be able to take care of the bills and take care of their family. And it's true. Nobody wants to fuck with a starving artist, you know? Give the artist their just dues, man. You know? Well, I'm up.
At Walmart, we're continuing our advanced safety protocols so you can feel safe. Learn more at walmart.ca.
I want y'all to listen to this MREC TV episode. Amina, shout out to Amina and MREC.
Have you guys heard of Stream Boss? It's a new IPTV provider that gives you over 5,000 channels for only $20 a month. $20 for live TV, local TV, movies, TV shows, pay reviews, and so much more. We even have
The Federal Trade Commission sued to break up Facebook on Wednesday, asking a federal court to force the company to sell off of assets such as Instagram and WhatsApp as independent businesses. Facebook has maintained its monopoly position by buying up companies that present competitive threats and by imposing restrictive policies that unjustifiably hinder actual or potential rivals that Facebook does not or cannot acquire, the Commission said in the lawsuit filed in federal court in Washington, D.C. Facebook and several other
Facebook's
major
going
US
down.
technology companies have grown extremely quickly over the past 10 years, and there has been little government oversight. So this announcement wasn't a huge surprise, and there's another lawsuit against Facebook. The attorneys general from 48 states and territories said they were filing their own lawsuit against Facebook. Their concern is about how much power Facebook and its CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, have on the internet. The AG suit doesn't exactly ask for Facebook to be broken apart. It is asking a federal court to halt Facebook's anti-competitive conduct in general and take any other action that the court sees fit. By using its vast troves of data and money, Facebook has squashed or hindered what the company perceived as threats, New York Attorney General Letitia James said at a news conference announcing the state's lawsuit, per NBC News.
Peace, world. To promote your music or promote your business by placing an ad on MREC TV, contact MREC TV Promo, MRECK TV Promo at gmail.com. Peace.
So that's crazy, right? Well, let me give y'all another little tidbit before I get up out of here because there's a lot of bullshit going down, right? Check this out. Check this out. I'm gonna show y'all something right quick. Check this out, y'all. Hold up. I can't see it properly. It says researchers warn some COVID-19 vaccines could increase risk of HIV infection. Can y'all believe that shit? Some of the COVID-19 vaccines currently in development could increase the risk of acquiring HIV, warned a group of researchers in the Lancet Medical Journal Monday, potentially leading to an increase in infections as vaccines are rolled out to vulnerable populations around the world. Key facts. Researchers warn of a cautionary tale from efforts to create an HIV vaccine over a decade ago, where a promising vaccine candidate actually increased the risk of some men catching the virus. The vaccine made use of a modified virus called adenovirus 585 as a vector to transport some of HIV genetic material into the body. Exactly how the vaccine increased the risk of HIV transmission is unknown, but a conference convened by the National Institute of Health recommended against further use of AD5 as a vector in HIV vaccines. Dr. Fauci was the lead author of the paper outlining this position. AD5 is used as a vector in some COVID-19 vaccines. Science identifies 4 such candidates that are currently undergoing clinical trials in various countries around the world, including the US, with 2 and large-scale phase 3 ongoing in Russia and Pakistan. The researchers stressed the need to understand the role AD5 might play in increasing the risks of HIV in vulnerable populations before developing and deploying vaccines using the vector, adding that informed consent documents should reflect the considerable literature on the risk of HIV acquisition with AD5 vectors. Lots of vaccines make use of modified viruses to transport material into the human body. When you make use of a modified adenovirus to do this, a virus which is usually harmless except their ability to cause the common cold. Some of the leading candidates for COVID-19 vaccine, including those from Johnson and Johnson and AstraZeneca, use adenoviruses as vectors. There's no evidence that those vectors increase the risk of HIV infection. Crucial quote. The author said that they went public because 85 vaccines for COVID 19 might soon be tested in populations with high HIV prevalence. Orange Corey, one of the authors who now co leads the COVID 19 prevention network in the US that is testing vaccines on behalf of the INH, told science that if he were in a sub Saharan African country where there was a high prevalence of HIV, I don't see why I would pick the Vector 85 vaccine when there are many other alternative choices. hmm So, what does that tell you? They fucking around. Big time, big time, big time. And then you got Vlad, instigator and the informer, locking up all the rappers. So they coming at us on all different angles, man. So let's turn it back around on them and expose these people for who they really are, which is white supremacists, charlatans, con men, and a whole consortium of cronies of the like. So, it is about identifying, isolating, and breaking down the whole structure from within. So, with that being said, we have all the tools at our disposal. We just got to use them. You know what I'm saying? Give them the tools they can use. Don't get it confused. They might blow their fuse. You know what I'm saying? If they don't choose the right one. So let me get up out of here, man. It's good to talk to y'all tonight. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to say, man. The live TV is not the way to go if you want to get on in the game. And if you do go through the Vlad, do like Lord Jamar, give him a little something, but break it down and make something out of it for yourself. You already know what time it is. It's your boy Mac Mizzle. And you know my slogan, keep it real in the field. Fuck out of here. I'm out.